As the Republicans now start to sashay a little bit closer to actually throwing hats in the proverbial ring, we want to bring in now John Avlon, who is the senior political columnist for the Daily Beast, to get a reality check. John, good morning to you.
Good morning, Dan. How are you?
Doing great. Glad to have you on. All right, so let's do this. I want to go through the list of potential candidates and hear from you whether they are in, out, or on the fence. Let's start with Mitt Romney. Is he definitely in?
He is all but official. You can make the case he never stopped running. So Mitt Romney has the closest thing to an organization in place. He is going to be in.
All right, let's count him as in. What about Newt Gingrich? He definitely seems like he's moving in that direction.
He's got an exploratory phase going, but Newt's not doing as well in the polls as his name recognition might suggest. He's definitely playing to the base. He's got a lot of credibility because of his leadership of the Republican Revolution, but I think you'd have to say at this point he's on the fence, looking at it, but not definitely in.
These graphics are great. We can see these guys fake running toward each flag. Let's talk about Sarah Palin. Is she in? She's certainly playing a publicity game, keeping her name in the media by talking about potentially running.
Oh, man, she sucks up all the oxygen in the room when her name comes up, but it's a polarizing process. And Palin has not yet taken serious steps to begin assembling a team, as she's very well known and beloved by her base, but increasingly polarizing. A new poll in Iowa showed that her support has declined a little bit, not definitely in.
What about Mike Huckabee? He's actually been doing well in the polls.
Hucko's doing very well in the polls, and he's out promoting a book which has helped keep his name in the conversation, but again has not yet begun seriously assembling a campaign organization. You have to say the polls lead to suggest he's going to run, but not definitely in yet.
And he's been taking some flack for this Natalie Portman dust-up he got himself into recently. Yeah. And let's finally look at Tim Pawlenty, the governor of Minnesota. He's actually going to be on the stage in Iowa tomorrow with Newt Gingrich. Is he running?
He's serious. He is all but announced. He's been putting together a team and been preparing for this run for quite a while. I think you've got to say that Tim Pawlenty is going to be in this race in 2012.
All right, finally, I want to ask you, I know you're no stranger to the Republican Party. You used to be the chief speechwriter for Rudy Giuliani when he was the mayor of New York City. You've been pretty critical, I would say scathingly critical, of the type of rhetoric potential Republican candidates have been using against the current president, Mr. Obama. Why?
Well, because, look, I think there's no question that the Obama derangement syndrome on the right was preceded by a Bush derangement syndrome on the left, but it's gotten worse. We've seen this sort of rhetoric saying that President Obama is somehow anti-American or un-American bubbling up to the upper reaches of the presidential campaign. And that deserves to be called out. It's divisive, it's unnecessary, and it's really begun to take some notice. Even George Will recently said that there have been vibrations of weirdness from the Republican field, and I think that's fair. I think when folks try to divide the country to raise themselves up, it was worth calling them out. It needs to be done.
John Avlon, who we hope suffers from no derangement syndrome of any variety, thank you very much. Always a pleasure to have you on. Take care.